Our podcast is a part of the World Podcast Network, now with over 1,000 podcasts. Visit the World Podcast Network at worldpodcast.network to listen to podcasts in over 12 genres. Come vote our podcast episodes up and help us rise on the leaderboard. If you have a podcast of your own, you can join for free. Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I am Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing 90 Day the Other Way. So before we get into the episode, let's do some hot goss. It's been a little bit, so let's get into that. So I think a lot of questions that I've had lately is Below Deck Sailing Yacht. When is that coming back? It's probably one of my favorite ones because I really do like Captain Glenn. Like, he's probably one of my favorites now that Lee has left me. But yeah, I'm like, what's the fate of Sailing Yacht? So here's what I have right now. This is Screen Rant, and this is my first time reading the article, so we're going to do this together. So, Below Deck Sailing Yacht's Season 5 fate has finally been confirmed after nearly a year of speculation, giving an answer about the series after Gary's alleged bad behavior, if that's what you want to call it. While there has been speculation about the Below Deck spin-off for nearly a year, there have been a lot of questions over whether the series should even bother to return after Gary, as we know, he's the first officer, was accused of sexual misconduct in 2023. Gary staunchly denied those rumors. Of course you fucking did. But news about Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 5 has been at a complete standstill since the allegations surfaced. And if you remember from the last tell-all last season, so Season 4, we know they were filming Season 5 because they said as much. Daisy and Gary said as much, that they were literally in the same location, either already filming or about to start filming like the next day. So we knew that was coming. So according to Pin's Lyric, I believe, who's on Reddit, a short commercial aired on Bravo in the last day that showed the title graphics of this fall's returning shows. Among the bunch, with the Real Housewives franchise taking point, it was revealed that Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 5 will be returning to Bravo this year. So they said, quote, "Unsure if this is the previously filmed Season 5 or if they filmed another season after without Gary, but this seems to be the first confirmation that the show is not completely scrapped." It's promising, and I'm kind of looking at it right now, and yep, there it is. So I will see if I can copy the link and add it too, so you can see it as well. But yeah, you kind of see like a reel of all of like the different shows coming this fall, and Below Deck Sailing Yacht is the very last one. While it's unclear if the season is the same one that was already filmed and had Gary in it, or when Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 5 is set to actually air, the video appears to be confirming that it will be back on Bravo. Though there were plenty of mixed feelings about the future of Sailing Yacht, there will no doubt be some excitement to see one of the best Below Deck spin-offs returning to the network, which I'm really excited for. I really do hope that they can bring this back to us because it really is one of my favorites as well. But yeah, I'll see what I can do to see if I can get the link for this and post it, or if I can find it on Reddit and post it. I'll see what I can do. But if not, then definitely head over to maybe like Below Deck Reddit or something and see if you can find it. But I'll try my best to see what I can do to see if I can find it. Next piece of hot goss. This was really funny to me. Again, is my phone listening to my thoughts? Because I actually was thinking about probably one of the last seasons of MAFS that I kind of enjoyed, which was it Nashville? And I was thinking about like Clint, thinking, what happened to that guy? And I hope like maybe he still gets to see the dog. I think he was with Gia or Gina. And like, I mean, it maybe didn't work out with her, but he damn well formed a relationship with her dog. So in case anyone is interested, actually that was season 16. We just had 17, right? So maybe it wasn't as good as I remember, but I did want to know like what's going on with him. So if you're interested in finding out what happened to Clint, um, Clint Webb is his full name. And yes, her name was Gina. And this is the season that had Nicole and Chris, Jasmine and Eris, Shaquille and Kirsten, who that not even I don't remember who the hell that is, and Dominique and Mac, who again I don't remember who that is. So Clint apparently has had a major life change. So he announced in June of 2024 that he was in quote premature retirement. Good for him, I guess. Um, he said, I don't know how long, it's been a while, but I've afforded myself the ability to do this. Clint spoke about how he was settling into retired life. I mean, the man's probably not even 50 yet, or close to maybe, and spending a lot of time working on his boat. He said that he had always been a tech guy and had, quote, things in the works regarding the future in the industry. Clint seems to spend most of his time in Tennessee and does posts fairly regularly. He has 24,400 followers on his unverified Instagram. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that's basically it. That's the update on Clint. Not much else. He's just been able to retire early. Good for him, I guess. But yeah, I think that's basically it for that. Let's kind of go to the current Below Deck Med season, and then we'll get into the episode. So I guess Ellie has kind of realized that maybe she's, let's see, a bitch. And that her words that she has definitely acted like a villain towards Brie after the backlash. Like it literally took her the backlash to realize, well, I guess when you're in it, you don't think you're doing anything wrong. But Ellie did issue a public apology to Brie after receiving backlash from Below Deck Med viewers for her on-screen behavior. During the August 5th episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, the host asked Ellie if there was anything she wanted to address. And she said, yes, everything. Just to sum it all up, I've had a lot of time to reflect on my actions, and I'm actually glad I've had this opportunity to see myself through somebody else's eyes, with respect to how she's treated Brie. Ellie noted that her opinion on her behavior has recently changed, adding, quote, in our daily lives, sometimes we are assholes to other people, but we always see it from our perspective. And maybe we feel justified because somebody did something that deserved that, but we never get to see ourselves from the other person's perspective. So after the season aired, she had some regrets that she wanted to express. She said, quote, I realize that sometimes we are the villain in our story, and that's who I was in Brie's story, and I truly regret that. I should have been professional. I should have put my emotions aside, and I should have lifted her up and made her feel stronger and find strength in herself, so I regret that. That's really big of her. Ellie's surprising statement comes as fans continue to question her behavior towards Brie. After initially forming a friendship, Brie and Ellie developed tension due to their mutual interest in lead deckhand Joe, which again, I'm going to say it again, don't get it. So yeah, that's in case anyone wants a refresher. Brie also recently opened up to Us Weekly about how frustrated she felt by the situation. She said, quote, you don't understand how much anger and rage I had inside of my body. I was like, if I'm going down, she's going down with me. You know what? Maybe it was a burn book. Fuck. The third student hinted that the tension won't stop there, adding, I'm just going to say it's going to be a whole load of ups and downs, a really hectic roller coaster ride. I think everyone should just buckle up and carry on watching. We will, Brie. But yeah, I think that's basically it. I don't think we have to rehash much else. Okay, so change of plans a little bit, everybody. We're going to talk the other way with Ava. So hi, Ava.
Hi. I'm supposed
He
here. Sorry.
she didn't watch the UK tell-all, so just as a programming note, that's gonna have to come a little later because we want to talk UK with each other. So you'll
Yeah.
probably get that either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. We'll
Yeah.
see how that goes.
Yeah.
Apologies, but it is what it is.
It's okay. We just got to pivot a little bit. It's all good.
Yeah, we're gonna pivot and talk toe. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So let's get into toe and let's talk Sarper and Shekinah.
He's just like, he's kind of the gift that keeps on giving. I don't
Oh
know.
my
Something
God.
about him that is just so obviously unlikable, but
Yes.
also likable.
Yes. Yes.
Hi.
I'm
I'm
like,
on the fence with him. I know he's trash. He's trash, but I like him.
she's bothering the fuck out of me too, though.
Gee. Yeah.
And but with him, it's like he'll say these things. He's just like, I was a cock. I
Yes,
was a
that
cock.
one. He met Peacock though, right? It was
I
just the
think
language.
so.
It's the
But he
language.
kept saying cock.
Yeah.
And Shekinah's like,
Yeah, she was taken aback. So was I. I was like, wait a minute.
when he said I was a cock, I'm like, wait,
Yeah, I think he meant like I was a dick. I was an asshole.
but
Don't you
it's just
think?
a
Like,
cock is so aggressive.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, it was
I
so
think that,
funny.
yeah. He's jokes. He makes me laugh every episode, but he's so like he's just not he's just not it. He's not.
I
And I
do
need
think he
to
does love her in whatever way he can.
yeah.
Because when the man started crying when she got there, I'm like, my boyfriend's slacking. What the fuck?
You know what? I don't know. I don't feel anything from him or any like even when he cries, like I don't read too much into it. I don't feel it. It doesn't give me chills or touches my soul or I don't think too much into it because I just see like on some level he's just a narcissist and I
Oh
feel like
yeah,
they turn it on and off
yeah,
and I don't feel any sympathy towards him, nothing. The only time I may have felt something is when he was with his parents and they were sitting at dinner and he was talking about children or that he has a
he has a
son that
son that he
to
doesn't
marry.
know. Yeah.
I felt a little bit of something there, but otherwise I can't take him seriously on like an emotional level. Like I don't get anything from him.
No, I mean when he was crying at the airport, I wasn't like it wasn't like it like I felt that in my soul or something. It's not like when, like with like the HEA tell all when Kobe started crying. That I feel in my
Oh yeah,
soul.
that I
That I
felt.
feel in my soul.
Yeah.
I don't feel that in my soul with Sarper, but it took me aback. I'm like, oh shit, he has tear ducts.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, tear down.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, okay. It took me off guard.
Yeah.
But like I do think in whatever way he can, like he does
He
seem to
cares
love
for her,
her.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
See that he cares for her. I wouldn't say that he loves her so deeply and he's in love with her. And I don't know.
I
Even
don't
when
know.
he alludes to like, oh, he's making so many changes for her and whatever, like, sir, the fundamental things that she requires of you, you're still not doing them. Like getting rid of your book with all these, you counting all the women that you've been with and the bottles in your shelf and
I
like
mean, honestly, when it comes to the bottles, I mean, first of all, A, you were stupid to tell her that like they hold
exactly,
memories with women.
exactly. Why
I
not just
mean,
say they were liquor that you enjoyed and that you want to
exactly.
remember to buy when they run out or
It's not
something?
crazy to collect alcohol bottles. It's
Not at
that's not
all.
crazy. And I
Exactly.
don't think if he doesn't want to get rid of them, then don't, I guess.
Yeah.
But
But once you told
the
her they're
book's
linked
got
to
to
women,
go.
then yeah.
Yeah, the
Anything
book
linked
has to
to
go.
a past life with experiences with women, you need to get rid of it.
Yeah, when you have like 2,500 experiences, like uh, mm,
Exactly.
maybe
Exactly.
3,000 experiences, we really don't know
Yeah.
because he
Oh,
doesn't
by
really
the
know.
way, you've probably already talked about this, but what do you think about the book that Shekinah gave to him? Do you think
Okay.
a man sat down
Okay.
and wrote 140 odd pages
Okay. So
in their love?
I did talk about this too with Letitia last week.
Hmm.
And I'm like, a 16-year-old boy sitting down and writing 143, that's not a love letter. That's a book.
Right.
I I need, first of all, I need more details. Was it double spaced? Was it big? Was it
The double-sided,
was it double
like,
sided? Like,
right?
I need
What's
details.
the font size? Did he draw? Were the illustration? Like, I need to know
And who's doing that?
who is doing that.
And
You know, I will say, when I had relationships in the past around the same age, I did write stuff with one boyfriend in particular, but every time, so we didn't live in the same cities, and every time we would see each other, we would exchange the book. So when he had
oh,
the
that's
book that
cute.
week and I saw him the next week, like we would exchange the book and we would take turns writing.
Oh,
But I
that's
didn't
cute.
expect him to sit his ass down and write me like fucking 142 pages. That's why I'm thinking like this
Do
is
you think
kind
it's
of
fake?
unbelievable. But if it was a situation where I had like similar to what I experienced, I could kind of see it where it was a book of them sharing, or, it was like a book that he wrote over time, maybe the span of their relationship, maybe. But if you're gonna tell me like in one sitting he sat down a 16-year-old boy and wrote all this stuff, meh.
And that's the thing too. It's like she's on his ass about holding on to things from the past. Yet
Yeah.
here you are holding on to a love book
Yeah. What a
from
coinkydink
30
that she had
years
a
ago.
love book from 30 on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you know what I really think it is? It's her daughter's fucking book that she brought there. It's one of her
It looks like it's in like a
sisters.
duotang.
Don't kill me.
So maybe it is her daughter's.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just think she wanted to throw something in its face, and that's
Yeah.
their relationship because it's like a tit for tat type thing. And it's like a you hurt me. Okay, then how do you feel when I do this? It's like, there's no real resolution to progress and move on in a healthy way. It's more like a you hurt my feelings. Okay, let's see how you like this. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
And again, like for him, I wouldn't have gotten even a little bit upset over it. Like,
Yeah.
again, 30 years ago, I don't know what the fuck I was even doing as a teenager. Like, none
Yeah.
of that was significant.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no.
I don't know. And that folder that it was in looked fresh as hell. Girl, it didn't
It's a,
even have
it,
no.
it's her daughter's.
Yeah, it's not. This is
Because that
not.
would be, especially like those duotangs. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think it was a duotang. I think it was like one of those like 1 inch binders, but
Yes.
even the 1 inch binder will get tatted.
Yeah.
The materials are pulling apart, and it's saying
Nothing.
look good.
Yeah. Unless she transferred the papers out of it and put it in a fresh one and
But
like,
then why would you do that?
exactly.
No, no,
I'm
man.
telling you, it's not. This is not legit.
The other thing too is this whole thing with her going and talking to the ex.
Yeah.
Like I would never.
But the thing about that is she doesn't really want answers. She says she does, but
No.
she doesn't. I don't feel that she does because she just doesn't care. She disregards everything and she even says it herself. Like she's just like she sees the red flags, but I love him so it's like so what the fuck are you digging up the past for? If you really don't care and nothing's going to phase you, then what is this? Because you're wasting my time at this point. Like
This is what I'm saying. Like their whole storyline is gonna be redoing her nose and
yeah.
then what?
Yeah.
Like,
Him nitpicking at other things, her diet, her
yeah.
whatever else. Like, I don't
Yeah, because it
know.
has to be like 100 and whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And that's that.
She's gonna accept him, flaws and all. And there are
Well,
a lot of,
yeah.
but she's gonna accept him. So it's like there's nothing else you could really show us. We get the type of person she is, and we get the type of person he is. She's gonna accept it because he's hot and she likes it.
And
And
in
that's
her views.
yeah. That's the bottom line for her, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do believe the other girl. It's clear you're with 2,500 girls. You're not going to get all their pennies. You must have said some shit to them to get it.
But
You
that's
know.
exactly what I was saying
Yeah.
last week was like, if you think for a second, first of all, if he said that he loved her or whatever, he didn't. He was just
Mm,
saying what he had to say to get what he
yeah.
wanted from her.
Absolutely.
And Shekinah, I'm sorry, but if you honestly think that he never did use those words
Exactly.
to other women, you're
Exactly.
naive.
And the fact that she confronted him with this information and then he laughed and she was like, well, that's a laugh. Like I never heard him,
Like it's a fake
laugh.
laugh.
Like, yeah. Like, so she recognizes it, but she
But
doesn't
then
say
what is
it.
she, but then doing all of this, what is her end goal? She's
Exactly.
not
I'm
going to
just
break up with him.
exactly.
So what was the point of doing all of this?
Exactly. Which is exactly my point. Like, what's the point of doing all of this when you know you're not going to leave him for anything?
No,
Tell you the worst about this guy, and you're not going to run.
no,
You're
because you're going to
gonna
somehow put in your mind that you're different. Even if
exactly,
you're telling me that, how could I be different? I'm not going to believe you though, because you think you are.
exactly.
And maybe in ways you are different than other people, but
Yeah, she's stupid. That's the difference because she kept going with it. Like it's
yeah,
really that simple. The
yeah.
2500 are they're in the past. They're not around currently because they probably like this guy's a scum.
Sorry, we had to take a quick break there for a second, but now we're back. Um, but yeah, so like the whole thing with the ex, I guess I don't understand it, but then we see him sitting in a furniture store because I guess he's gonna go, or they're gonna go look for a vanity because she's been asking for a vanity. And she's like, it's interesting that this is when he chooses to look at a vanity after I went to go see the ex. Like the timing is interesting.
Hmm.
And when he hugs her when she gets in there, the way he hugged her is like, I know you probably heard some shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they're kind of just looking at the vanities, whatever, and then they're gonna talk and they go sit on the couch to have the conversation. And he's like, I never said that I loved her. I was a confidential person, and all that. I'm like, okay,
The words he uses sometimes
confidential.
they're just yeah. Not I was a private person. I was
I was
confidential.
confidential. And she says to him, like, she was affected by the way you treated her. He's like, in a good way or in a bad way? Well, sir,
Hmm.
we're here, sir, so it's not a good way. And she's like, well, obviously bad way. And he's like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to her. And yeah, he's like, it wasn't a serious thing. I think it's here that he says that she was like a friends with benefits. I can't remember if it's here or when they were back at the house, but he's like, I gave her no hopes. I never told her that I loved her, which I don't believe. I definitely think you said the words, I love you, even if you didn't mean it.
Yeah.
And he's like, did she say that? Did she say that I said that? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, that's when he does the fake laugh. He's like, never, never, never. Sir,
Yeah.
you did. Like, don't play games. You definitely did. And um he apparently he told Shekinah that he left her after 3 days. And I don't know like if she's saying this to say, A, I didn't believe it. I figured maybe to say it's to everybody, or B, well, you told me after, like, I don't know where like what she's getting at by saying this, where the ex is concerned. But
Hmm.
at the same time, it's like, okay, but ma'am, did you believe him? Did you not believe him? Like, if you believed him, that's on you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, but he's like, there's nothing there. She starts kind of questioning the timeline of what, like, when he would have been faithful to her. Because I guess what she's trying to say is when she came back to see him, I guess after the first time, and he said, now it's real. Now,
Hmm.
like, I'm gonna be faithful. And she's like, I figured you were being faithful before.
Yeah. I remember that.
And he, I mean, I don't know. You may not have, you might have chosen to not see other people because you're into this guy.
Hmm.
But unless you've stated clear boundaries in this relationship or whatever it was at that point, he can do whatever the hell he wants to do.
Yeah.
And you could do whatever you wanted to do, whether that's stay faithful or not or whatever, but like you barely knew each other.
Mhm.
When he met you the first time, he already, or this, I guess the second day, he already had sex with two other people. The same day he then had sex with you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So you think that he's not gonna potentially have sex with other
Uh,
people while you're in the States? Ma'am,
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah. You see what I mean? Like she just ignores the red flags. And
Yeah.
sometimes when she has these revelations or these moments of clarity, I'm just like, yes, yes, yes.
And then
Now
it's
let's
just
do
like,
something about it. And then the
yeah.
next scene, and they're all like, they cut to the morning of them brushing teeth and whatever. Sarper and I made up last night. And I'm like, what the
It's what I'm saying. And then you're waxing his
nothing.
back. Okay, first of all, what the whole waxing back situation when he literally says, nothing about you disgusts me. Sometimes I picture you pooping. No, no, no,
I don't care how hot somebody is. I'm not picturing you pooping. I'm sorry.
no,
Like not of interest.
no, no.
He's the type to just say what he thinks,
Yes.
all the time. There's no filter. It doesn't
No.
go through that funnel or
And
whatever. Like he has no filter,
I
literally.
don't know if it's just like refreshing, but it's also really hilarious.
It's both, honestly.
Oh,
Like it's good. It's so good. Yeah.
but then the
That's why
shop,
he has that likability. Like I know he's
yes,
trash and I
he's
shouldn't
trash,
like him. I should probably condemn him because he's a scumbag.
but he's funny as hell.
So funny.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
Um, but then the shop guy comes over to them. He's like, "Okay, so you guys need to get the fuck out the store because we need to lock up. Like, can you go have your argument elsewhere?"
Yeah.
Like, like, how can you just like? First of all, I was like, "Why are
Because
you
he's
even
he's like,
here?
"Are you buying shit or not?" Is really what he wants to say. Are you gonna buy shit? Because
Get
I
the
didn't
fuck
agree to y'all
out!
coming in here and filming in my establishment. You didn't see a shot of the name of the shop, so now you're just in
Get
his
out!
way. Get
I want
out.
to go home. Go to your home. Have this argument."
Oh, that's
Um,
funny.
but she said she still wants to have finish this conversation, so they kind of finish the conversation in the car, or started it up again.
Mhm.
And yeah, what did I write here? Sorry, hold on. Yeah, she says in terms of like the whole like them being faithful in her mind they were together. That's fine, but you're kind of sounding like the ex now. Because I feel like in her mind they were together, but they weren't.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, that's basically the car. But then they get back to the apartment, and this is kind of where the fun starts once they kind of um I guess solve the issue. Um, so did you notice these wristbands that she was wearing on her hands, these red ones? Like she looked like she came out of a Madonna video.
No.
No, you didn't notice? Okay. Well, for those who did notice, she literally either A looked like Madonna and like a virgin, or potentially like she was about to get physical with Olivia Newton-John. I don't know, but it was a choice.
Mm.
So yeah, she's like, listen, I just don't want to be played by you. Honey, you've been played.
Many
You're
times over.
with him. You've been played.
Yeah.
The day you went over to see him to nurse him back to health, you had been played because he had already fucked two other women.
Yeah.
You have been played.
Yeah.
And
She's an idiot. And
ugh,
it's sad to say this, but I'm a mom, so I'm gonna say it. Imagine the example for her daughter that she's setting, and that her daughter
basically,
of age to see this and is probably circulating social media. And if she has access, or not even her, but if her friends have access, she's gonna find out some shit about her mom.
and the
And it's
thing is, the one thing I'm going to say about her daughter that I think is at least gives us a little bit of hope that I
that
think
she's
her
her.
daughter is sick, sick, sick of her shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think she has enough sense to kind of be like, this isn't it. Like
Mm.
this, like you say you want to find better, but then you're with this guy.
Yeah.
Like, so I think like we're kind of like similar with like Darcy and Stacey.
Mm.
Is Darcy's kids are like, we know how our mother is, but we still have a little bit of sense in our head. So I'm not too worried about her daughter. But yeah, like, she's old enough that, hopefully she can do the right thing in her relationships in
Yeah.
life. Not so much be as influenced by her mom's choices. And he says to her, well, I changed my whole life for you. Um, why would I play you now at this point? And he's like, I was a lonely wolf before you. I'm like, oh, here we go. He's like, I was walking on snow and leaving no traces or footprints behind. It just reminds me of Buddy the Elf talking about walking through Turley's swirly gumdrops.
I don't, I don't remember that.
Oh, God. Um,
But he's just so funny, his analogies, and I can picture everything that he's talking
yeah,
about. I'm
like
like,
I'm actually getting visuals
yeah, me too.
when he talks like this. I'm like, I can see.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Um, he's like, again, he said that was confidential, but with you, I exposed myself on social media. My family knows about you. You
Mhm.
know, look at the progress that I've made. And I mean, I kind of
Yeah.
do have to kind of agree. He's definitely made some strides in ways that he clearly has never done with you know, anyone else. And you gotta take what you get. And she's like, I do see it, but it still scares me and worries me. And I was like, but then again, that's your problem. That's
But
not
so
his
yeah,
problem.
it could be viewed as progress, but I feel like he gives her a little bit just to hang on to her more.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
I don't feel like it's enough because again, that black book that he has is a huge issue for her and it's still around. Oh, okay, let me post a picture of us on social media. And that pacifies her for the moment.
She didn't know about the book pre social media post.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
we found out about the book at the last tell all. So when they did that Instagram post, it was before.
okay, right.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so technically, if we think about it, this her in Turkey right now would have probably been maybe just a few months after she found out about the book because she was at the tell all.
yeah. Yeah.
So I think it was only like a few months after.
Okay.
Um, so we'll kind of give him that there, but I just like again like, when she gets there, like when she first gets there, he's like, "Do you want to see the book?" No, he doesn't want to see the book.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he's adamant that he never told this girl that he loved her. Um, and when like when I say that I love you and you say me too, which first of all I would never accept that. But if when sometimes did you do that? And he's like, no, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
You definitely did. Um, and he's like, if I did, I would have stopped talking to her because it would have been getting too serious. Maybe as time went on and you can feel it's getting serious, that I can maybe believe, but I
Yeah.
definitely believe you would have said that I love you in order to get what you wanted.
Yeah.
So,
I can.
um, so she's like, okay, I believe you. And it's like, okay, so then what was the point of all of this if
Exactly.
you're just gonna believe him?
Exactly.
And then we get this beautiful story that created another picture for us. He says, baby, once upon a time, before you, I was a cock. Cock. I was a cock. We heard you. Um, he's like, and now I've transformed into a peacock with my feathers. I'm trying to impress you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it's
think
just
he Googles these
perfect.
things. He's
Oh my,
trying to say
and
he's
and Google
shocking.
told you to say I'm a cock.
I think he then translates it and like interprets it in his own way. Like, no, no, Google, this is not what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say.
Oh my
Like he's
God.
telling Google what it is at this point.
I was a cock.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it's so good. He's so good. I was when I first read this, saw this on when the aired on Monday, I was crying. I was a cock. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
what?
My jaw was on the floor. I was like, what? What? And then you could see her too. Her reaction was like this. She was like, with her head down. And she was like, oh gosh, this is
And
another
then
one of his.
and then he says I was a cock.
It's
Uh,
funny because he doesn't get it. Like he doesn't get
no,
what he's saying. And
no.
it makes it so much fun because he's
He was
dead
just
serious. Like, yeah, I was a
dead
cock.
serious.
Like,
I was a cock. What? What? It's
not.
kind of like when he would call her a bitch. It's
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
whore.
yeah.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
love him.
Good.
I love him and I hate that I do, but I do.
Yeah,
He's so
yeah.
good. Okay, so next, while Ava's burning her mouth out, James and Tata.
Hmm.
Yeah. What a
They're
hot mess they are.
they're cute.
They're cute. I like them together, but my God, y'all need to fix your communication with
Hot mess.
other people and each other too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my God.
Communication is not their strong suit. Let's say that.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no, no, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just tell my parents the day before I'm leaving that I am leaving
Another
and not coming
country.
back.
Oh, and
Oh,
I'm quitting. I'm quitting
and
the
I'm
family.
quitting. Yeah. And then let me just not tell my parents that we're moving here to live with them.
And let me just not tell you that low key, I don't want kids. Let me just,
Yeah,
yeah.
not great.
They still have a lot of maturing to do, I feel. I feel like it gives me high school relationship, like fun times,
Yes.
fun vibes.
But he's in his
It doesn't
30s.
give me a marriage. Yeah, it doesn't give me a marriage though. Um,
Yeah. I mean, she's what, 27 and he's 31, I think.
I didn't even peep their age to be
I
honest. It's
think
the way they
that's,
act. I'm going off the way they act. It's just not giving me,
yeah,
I don't know.
grown ass adults.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he's basically telling us that they're going to be staying at a hotel for a couple of days because they want to be able to get close,
Hmm.
close. So we're
Yeah.
close. That's it. Because they haven't seen each other for a month and 7 days. He's been counting.
Hmm.
And but first, before they go to the hotel, they're gonna go see her parents. And this is the first time that he's actually been in her hometown. He did meet her parents before, obviously, but they were on a work trip, so he's actually not been to her hometown, which means he also has not been to her home. And when he pulls up to this house, he's like, "This
Damn.
is it?
Hmm.
This is the house?"
I'm
And
not gonna lie, I was impressed.
yes, I'm like, it's like the
Then,
White House, like he says.
yeah. But then his dad owns a banana chip business, so I figured I didn't think they were successful in the business. I thought they were on like the corner, like hustling. Like that's kind of how she made it seem. No,
That's what
like you
she
got,
kind of made it
but
seem, especially because she said like they don't pay family. And I'm
yeah.
just like,
Well,
okay,
clearly it shows.
but
It
then
shows they don't pay no family
that's
because
what
they're
I'm saying.
yeah.
One of the tweets on the 90 day was someone put in West Indonesia, born
On the playground and
on my days.
that's funny. You know what I was picturing? I pictured it to look kind of like Rose house from Rose and Ed.
Her house did not look like that.
No, like when they were gonna go to the house, I
Oh
imagined
yeah.
them pulling up to a place that looks similar to that.
To that. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. And damn. But Um, the house
Mhm.
is currently under construction though.
Mhm.
So, it's a little messy inside, but that's okay. So we're going to take a little tour of the house. We go to the where they do the banana chips. This is where the fryer is. This is where we do the flavoring, kind of doing that. Then they head upstairs and they're like, this is going to be your room. And there's nothing to it. Apparently it's almost done.
Mhm.
Question mark. But Anyways, James, and this is his words, says, it feels like a prison and I wouldn't want to sleep there. And I mean, I haven't been in many prisons in my lifetime, but I don't know if this is what a prison looks like, but okay,
Mhm.
go for you then. But yeah, he says that he wouldn't feel comfortable sleeping there. Well, you're gonna have
Beggars
to.
can't be choosers, sir. You are
That's what I'm
homeless.
saying. You're currently homeless.
Way up.
You're currently homeless. So,
Mhm.
um, and of course they do mention like the fact that he doesn't speak the language because one of the three promises was that he was going to learn the language. So we're like, it's been
5 years,
5 years
according
and
to
you
Dad.
still don't know a single thing.
That's true.
And yeah, they go to the bathroom and he's like, oh, look, there's a lizard. And this lizard was moving
Mm-hmm.
real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, of all things, I'd rather there be a lizard. I'm okay with a lizard. I don't want no bugs.
Yeah.
Fuck them spiders. But I'm okay with a lizard. They're cute. The lizard was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, he says it's clear that the three promises are still important to parents, and he's kind of like, I'm in shit because A, I don't want to have kids. B, I can't support her. I don't know how I'm going to support her. And I don't know shit about shit on the language. So what am I going to do?
Mm-hmm. Hey, 0 out of 3 ain't bad.
There you go. There you go. Shit. And so yeah, it's the next day, and they're in the hotel, and all we hear him say is, "Oh God, there's water everywhere," because she's been bideting, and there's water everywhere.
I mean, at this point, take a fucking shower. I'm sorry,
That's what
but
I'm saying. And someone, I think my mom mentioned this. She's like, "So wait, if you're bideting your asshole and your pussy hole,
why?
where when you're putting it on the floor,
Yeah.
that's nasty."
Unsanitary. Yeah.
Very. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why? Why?
Yeah, that's dirty. I'm sorry.
Looking,
I could.
it's looking like a swimming
I
pool in there.
I'd rather go shower. If I'm shitting that bad and I need to wash my ass that
No.
bad, I'm going in the shower.
Yes.
That's just me
Fuck
though.
the bidet at that point.
Yeah. Because if it's
Um,
all over the floor, that's shitty water on the floor, ma'am.
that,
Thank
yes. Fuck, man.
you.
You have an open wound, you're fucked.
Mm,
So
for real.
the night they say was great. They obviously didn't get a lot of sleep. And then
Mm-hmm.
she's like, I like to annoy you. And he
Mm-hmm.
says, I like it when you annoy me. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Y'all, these are
Yeah.
two grown adults who
Yeah.
are
This is
married,
insane. Uh-huh.
and they can't say, I like to have sex with you. They have
Mm-hmm.
to say annoy.
Mm-hmm.
What in the
I
Lord's
told you.
Jesus is this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, no.
Yeah.
Now, I understand the cuteness behind it because she was quote unquote annoying him one night and whatever, but you're grown.
Mm-hmm.
Sex, say sex. If you
Mm-hmm.
can't say sex, you shouldn't have it.
Yeah. They're
Um,
making me comfortable.
it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But James says that he doesn't like bidets. And the reason he doesn't like bidets is because one time when he used a bidet, it hit the magic spot. He's like, I got a deep clean that day. I'm like, okay,
Good to know. Thanks.
all
Thanks for
right.
yeah.
But she says people in Indonesia don't really use toilet paper because it's expensive. So this is why they use the bidet. And he's like, it's a cost that's worth taking. And I'm like, yeah, maybe for you,
Mm-hmm.
privileged boy, but maybe for the Indonesians, not so much.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so they're heading over to a store because he needs to buy underwear and socks. Did you come with none? I have questions. Dad is going to be teaching him how to make banana chips because you're going to need to know. And
We zoom in on that because I'd like to know too. Shit.
yeah, even though he doesn't realize that you need to know, but you're going to need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And Tata kind of says here that she's like, I kind of want to tell them today that we're going to be staying. And he's like, whoa, today? I mean,
Hmm.
I just got here. What's
Yeah.
the rush? Sir,
Sir, you've waited
sir,
long again with the communication.
you should have told them before you even landed,
Hmm.
before she even got there.
Hmm.
But I just got here. Give me a couple of days. The fuck you say?
Right.
Sir,
Hmm.
And here's the thing too that just drives me absolutely bonkers is he's like, I just don't know how we're also going to make money. Because what happens is he said he had every intention of going to Indonesia with 10K, couldn't come with 10K because his car broke down and it cost 8K. So now they have no money. And he's like, I couldn't sell the car because no one was buying the car. And he now has to pay $800 a month. Sorry, no, $700, I think he said, a month
Wow.
to pay off the car.
Wow.
How in the Lord? I wouldn't even know how to do that now.
Hmm.
$700 on a car every month. I mean, you make do, but like you're gonna be in Indonesia making banana chips.
Hmm.
How are
That's,
you can't on banana chips.
hmm.
I don't know. These two did not think shit through. They really didn't.
Nope.
Um, but yeah, and then he kind of says at the end there when she's kind of saying like I think we need to tell my parents. He kind of says, well, I just figured like things weren't set in stone. What in the Lord's Jesus? I'm so confused
I'm
because
so
he
confused.
literally says before he got there, like, this has to work because I'd be coming back to nothing. What do you mean you didn't know it was set in stone?
Exactly.
What are you going to do? Live in your car that you can't even afford? You're going to go home to a job that you no longer have because you pissed your parents off. Like,
Hmm.
what? What do you mean I know shit was set in these idiots?
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Statler and Dempsey. Let's talk them real quick. Not a whole lot here, but
Hmm.
enough to talk about. So the first thing we see her say is that she's landed in France. She has one more flight to go before she's on England. And then we see Dempsey at the airport waiting for her. And she's like, I'm excited to see her. I haven't seen her in 2 months. And she said that she wouldn't be like excited right now because she's stressed about everything going on with the van life and everything. But she said like she'd be excited when she got here. So I'm just kind of waiting for that. And then Statler walks through the door and you're just like,
No.
there's no excitement.
Nope.
When she hugged Dempsey, did you notice the dead look in her eyes?
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
dead look in her eyes. I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then Dempsey's like, so are your bags? And she's like, oh, they lost it.
Yeah.
They're gonna deliver it tomorrow. I'm like,
Not
oh,
a big deal.
not a big deal. It's fine because it means less shit to carry. And I'm just like,
Yeah. She's
girl,
like, not a big deal in comparison to all the shit I gave up to be here with you right now, living in a
was what I'm
fucking van. No big deal.
saying.
Pile it on.
Yeah, why
Pile.
not?
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
debt. I got doubt. So what's one more thing? I don't have a suitcase. It's fine.
Mhm. That's what I got.
And Dempsey's kind of like, I just figured you'd be like more excited. And she's like, I am excited.
Mhm.
And she's like, I'm just really tired. I have no,
Mhm.
like, I'm on low battery. And Dempsey's like, well, even if I was on low battery, like, I would still be excited, I'd hug you and everything. And she's like, yeah, but then I'd be forcing it. I would be faking it. You wouldn't want me to do that. It's what you said you love about me. You love that I'm real. I'm being real. And I'm like, I mean, their first meetup was awkward as fuck.
Awkward as hell.
But
I
at
was like,
least they fucked at
okay.
the end of the night.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
This was like,
I get
she's
what
had
Dempsey's
it.
saying though. Like if you see your partner, you can kind of push through a little bit and give a little
Yeah.
smile and just explain it. Just say, "Hey, oh my gosh, I missed you, but honestly, I'm like so tired. Can we just get going or something?" But like
Yeah.
still give her that.
Something.
It doesn't have to be, you don't have to match her energy or her level of excitement in the way that she wants you
No.
to, but you can say something to that effect that makes her like, feel reassured and like, yeah, like I'm in this, let's just whatever. But she
Yeah.
gave nothing. Like
Nothing.
she was nasty. She was a little nasty, I'm gonna say, but
Yeah. I mean, I do think Dempsey doesn't fully understand what it means to
magnitude of
be
it
with a
all.
person who is neurodivergent.
Hmm.
Because at the same time, like what I'll say just from experience with my brother, it's like they are well aware that their behavior is shit right now,
Hmm.
but they also just don't have the capability to like to set themselves back. Like,
I was gonna say she can't help
yeah,
it.
she can't
Yeah.
help it.
She's
Um,
overstimulated, overwhelmed,
yeah.
everything. It's a lot. It's heavy. People don't
And she's
understand.
not just autistic, she has ADHD mixed in
Yeah.
with the anxiety. And it's just, it's a lot. And I don't think Dempsey fully gets that. I
Mm-hmm.
think she thinks like whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
I do think she has to really educate herself on what it means to be with someone who is neurodivergent, and in particular, the things that Statler deals with.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, they're gonna go ahead get into a taxi. Which, by the way, they need two of them, and so they're gonna taxi, which is a 50-minute drive. And Statler's already over before she even gets in the cab. And Dempsey's like, "So we're gonna go like at the van." And I'm sorry, I'm with Statler here. Why are we doing this on the same day that she
Hmm.
just landed?
Yeah,
It's
like
not
why are
an
you
easy
double booking?
trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, like can't she not go to the hotel, have a shower, sleep, maybe,
Yeah.
and then maybe she can reset as well.
Mm-mm. A person like that needs to reset.
They
They
need
need,
to reset.
yeah.
And I just, whose idea was this?
Hmm.
Dempsey's.
Why was there no communication?
That's what I'm saying. They don't,
This is what's gonna happen. Hey, as soon as you land, we're gonna do this. Do you think you're able to do it?
yeah,
And you would have given her consideration and an opportunity to say, yeah, you know what? I don't think so. This flight is long, but whatever. Some communication,
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Throw into these situations and you
And
expect
that's
her
a
to react the
lot.
way that you want her to.
Yeah, and that's a lot for a person who isn't neurodivergent. And you add the fact that she is, it's it's like this thing, this thing. It's like they can't
Mhm.
adjust
It's a
to
lot.
what's happening.
Hmm.
So, yeah, she says like, I kind of don't want to do this right now. And she's like, why are we doing this like right when I get here? And Dempsey's like, because we're on a schedule, Statler. And I'm just like, girl,
A schedule that you made that you
a
can also
schedule that you
adjust and
made
change.
and she's not privy of.
Yeah.
She wasn't included in that Google Doc. What the hell?
Not Google Doc. It was encrypted. I didn't get the fucking file. I couldn't open it. Oh my God.
um, so she's like, can we just do this tomorrow? Like, why does it have to be now? Um, and she's like, I just don't want to be out in the cold because it's cold. She's like, I just don't want to be out in the cold doing this shit right now. Like, I just don't. Um, she's like, well, then fine, I'll do it myself. Then she's like, no, because then you're gonna do what you want to do and not think about me and my needs. And then they kind of start saying, you're not excited, you're kind of like ruining the happiness or whatever, like my happiness. Like, I'm not in charge of your happiness.
Hmm.
Just like you're not in charge of my misery. So how
No.
about you be in charge, you be happy in your happiness and let me just be happy in my misery.
Let me find out Statler is a poet because I like that.
I kind of do too.
I like the way she said it. Uh-huh.
And then Dempsey's response is, fine, fuck off. What'd you call me? I
Yeah,
said, fuck off.
she did a
Okay.
double kick. Like,
All right.
great start.
Lovely start. Just
Mhm.
kind of shows where this is going to go.
Mm.
And that is Shitsville. So I wonder if that's on one of their stops. Seriously.
Wow.
Um, but then we just have Josh and Lily in this episode, but we can also quickly talk Corona and Inky before we close out because they weren't on this episode either.
Mhm.
Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
mention it. Where were they? What the
I
hell?
don't know. We're gonna see them next week, but yeah, we can kind of talk about them a little bit. But Josh and Lily, we'll talk about them first. They're gonna go play badminton, which I loved playing badminton. I think I only ever played it in grade 9, and I loved it. I'm like,
Mm-hmm. Loved
I
it
was
too, 'cause I could
pretty
play
damn
it.
good.
It's one of those things that I could play. Good too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there's not
liked it.
many things I was good at, but I
Yes,
was good at it.
me too.
And my
That's
mom didn't
fun.
believe me.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't there. I was good. I got that from
Mhm.
my grandma because my grandma played badminton too. Um, but apparently it's huge in China. It's kind of like they from their well, he says like it's like table tennis for us here, and I'm like, is table tennis like big
Like,
in the
are-
States? What? I mean, I love me some table tennis, but what? Okay.
yeah.
Um, but Lily says that I'm not really good at it, but I like to do it for exercise. I'm like, you know what? Good for you. Um, and Josh is like, I don't really like sports. I don't really like competition, but I'm gonna do this for her. I'm like, yeah, sir, because you're over there playing with your Legos.
Hmm.
Like, look.
You got shit else to do. Go play some badminton. Study.
um, but oh, what am I saying here? So when they start playing, because he's gonna play along with them, did
Hmm.
you notice like the music that they were playing? It felt very like Leave It to Be. Like I was dancing. I'm like
Oh
felt
no.
like very sitcom-y, like 60s, 70s sitcom-y, and I'm just like,
Was that the show or was
yeah, it
that
was
the
in the show. It was in the show.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember how the beat went, but it was I was enjoying it myself. I was like, okay. Um, but they kind of take a break. Um, and they kind of the thing is like I feel like their storyline could have some potential, but I think because they're just good, really and
Hmm.
truly, even the finances and stuff like that, I think they're okay. We're just getting these little snippets of them. It's not
Hmm.
enough.
Hmm.
It's like the equivalent of the time that he said he needed to have sex with her in the massage.
Hmm.
Remember when he's like, I only need a minute? That's
Hmm.
basically what we're getting,
Hmm.
is the equivalent of that.
I don't
Um,
know. Do you like them together? You think they're a good couple? Because I know you just said they're good,
yeah,
but
they're good, but I think they're good.
yeah.
I think they could be okay if they can kind of figure out the finances as best as they can under the circumstances.
Mhm.
But she needs to remember he can't work for 5 years. And that is something that her country has put in
I mean,
place.
you
So
could do something under the table,
definitely can.
and like, mm, mm.
Definitely can. I don't know how easy that would be to do in China, especially
Yeah,
because
I
he
was
doesn't
just gonna
speak the
say
language.
China's kind of strict.
Exactly.
China's kind of strict.
It's not like here where you can get away with that.
Yeah,
It's not
China's
like
really
that.
strict. There's a lot of things that I would say about China, but then you'll ask me, how do I know this? And then I'll expose myself in how I know this. And I don't want to do that. But just trust me on this. China's very strict. They don't play no games.
No.
And they're low-key a scary country. That's all.
No, as of late, for sure, they have like
Mhm.
their
Scary country.
alliances have been definitely questionable. We'll say don't want to make it political or anything like that, but
Yeah.
it has definitely been questionable
Let's
um
let's just
in the
also
last few years,
let's just also
especially.
say the citizens of China aren't the happiest either, and a lot of them are trying to escape. And I'll just leave it there.
I'm not even surprised by
So
that.
moving to China, I was
Is a
looking at
choice.
her.
And that's
Wow.
the thing. I think with Josh, he is under this impression that China is like it is in the movies
Hmm.
because he's interested in the culture from that stance.
Yeah.
But that's, do you read the news,
Hmm.
sir?
Hmm.
Like, you know, I don't want to make this depressing, but you have like the war in Ukraine. look at the country that China was in alliance with
Hmm.
and, go accordingly.
Yeah.
Let's just say it wasn't Ukraine. So it's like why I don't want to hate on the country. I'm sure like the country is great. I think under other circumstances, I would go to China. I will not go to there at the moment.
Hmm.
Other Asian countries, sure, but not no.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But whatever, he's made a choice.
Hmm.
She is successful in China, so I understand him moving there to her. But you have to understand, like, he's not gonna be able to work for 5 years.
Hmm.
So she's taken that on and she knows that.
Yeah.
So
It was funny also when he was in the cab ride and he was like, "Do men typically not work?" Like he was asking the driver.
yeah, sir, do they typically not work in the States too? Like, what?
Like so dumb.
Of course they work, but yeah, so I guess like he's kind of dealt with some jealousy from, or she kind of dealt with jealousy on his part. And she said, you would say things like my love for you is fake and it's
Mhm.
not fake. But yeah, like it wouldn't be fake. And she she says like he said like, well, you would keep me on red sometimes. And that would kind of get me in my feelings, basically. And it's like, can y'all just sometimes my boyfriend keeps me on red. You know what I say? I'm like, hello, did you die
Yeah,
from excitement? Like, what's going on?
that's me too.
Like, what happened?
Yeah.
You got so excited that you just dropped dead. Like, but I'm not gonna get jealous. I'm not jealous. I'm just like, hello,
Yeah.
where'd you go?
Yeah.
Like,
My mind,
there's ways to
my
deal
mind
with that.
doesn't go there first. It's more like
No,
if she's busy running a
she has
business,
a business
come on, you have no job and you live with your parents.
and you
Sir,
play with Legos.
right. You need to be left on red so you can think about your life.
Think about life.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she says that I love you and I'm not leaving you. And he says, yeah, that was my fear that you would leave me. My guy, you're married. It's not as easy as her just leaving you. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, she could just leave you, but like, you know,
Hmm.
but he apologizes and that's basically them. Like again, it's not a whole lot with them.
Yeah. What do you
Um,
think about her always throwing it in his face, his words,
the
that
the
she
money.
spends a lot of money, to get the house and whatever. That house is extravagant. A fucking
No, it's a
elevator and
smart house. It's a
everything,
smart home. The elevator has elevator music.
right?
What is this? But the thing is that when he says,
You're right.
like, yeah, she throws it in my face a lot, and you're thinking, okay, maybe you're just being like, you're just over
Yeah.
exaggerating or whatever. But then when you see her and she's like, so here's the home, here's the fridge with no food because I have no money.
Yeah. So you're gonna pay for the wedding, right? Because I had no
I have
money.
no money.
like,
And
like
it's
priorities. Why did you get this mansion knowing your man is dirt poor? He can't work for 5 years. You've dug yourself into a hole.
uh, your home is a smart home with an elevator with elevator music. You have signage in Mandarin and English because I
Right.
don't know why do you need signage in your home?
Her home at this point is smarter than her because she made a dumbass decision. You messed up. And then you're gonna put it on him like, I got this home for you, honey. They said I did this for
After
you.
he said, I'm fine living in the apartment.
Yeah. Like, let's be for real. The house isn't just for him, ma'am, okay? You probably wanted this too. Like you have a successful business. Do you think she's actually in debt? Do you think she's because
I'm sure
her
she
business
probably
seems
used a credit
successful.
card to pay for this. I do think that maybe that's more so what's happening, but she has a flow of money coming in.
Yeah,
She
that's what I
has
was gonna
to.
say. You have a successful business. I don't think you're as broke as you're portraying. I think
How
she's
broke
low
can you
key.
be when you go and get a head massage and ear massages?
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
Didn't know that was a thing, ear massage. But
I did say I want one of those.
Trust China to really, I'm
Can
just
we
saying.
bring one of those here?
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
probably here. We
I'm
just gotta
sure.
go to
I'm
Markham.
gotta
We just
let's
gotta
go
go to
down to
Markham and get it.
Spadina. Let's go down to Spadina, and you probably can find a place to go and get that done. Yeah.
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 That's me.
Chinatown, here I come to go get an ear massage. Um, but yeah, I guess the only other person, again, like they were on this episode, is Corona and Inky.
They are very interesting. I think they're the couple on interesting. They're the couple of the season for me
They're the couple
because
of the team because they're interesting,
they're interesting.
not because they're going to work, because they're
Not because
interesting.
they're gonna work. Absolutely not. I just want to follow everything. I want to know the ins and outs, everything. They're so fascinating to me. Like how
The soft partnering of it all.
that part.
Do you soft partner?
You
No.
I'm sorry.
What's that?
I'm sorry.
No.
No, I'm a cock. I'm not a soft partner. Um, I'm I'm very interested in this couple. I want
Me too.
all of it because I can't wait for her to show her real self.
Man.
And I want to see how he takes it because clearly she's been
And it's
watering
gonna make
down,
you laugh.
right?
Please don't.
She's been watering down her personality clearly. And
Or I don't think it's so much that he's been, but she feels she has to because she's with
yeah,
a white man
yeah,
from Europe who's never been with a black woman before.
that is a common thing to do though. Even when
Yeah.
just regular settings, right? Like if you're talking to a group of white people and you're the only black person there, you're kind of watered down a little bit. You're what's that word? Code switching. Like you do a lot of code switching. Like I wouldn't talk how I would normally talk because maybe they won't understand the lingo, maybe they'll perceive it as ghetto, maybe it'll be too
Yeah. Yeah.
black people. We often feel like we have to do that. We have to like, you know,
Yeah.
simmer down a little bit so that we're palatable for the white people to accept. It's weird.
Yeah.
But it is a thing and we do it, whether it's at our jobs, it's in everyday life situations, or at a store, whatever. Any interaction with a white person and a black person, like
It's
it
different.
it's different.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking to the homie, you know, they're gonna feel me, and sometimes I don't even need the words because they just feel me, they get it. I don't have to put on, so to speak. So
Exactly.
I think that's what she's doing. And in this setting, I don't think it's a good idea because obviously it's a relationship. You want to be your full authentic self so that person knows what they're getting into. If you've
Yeah.
only presented him with this, you know, cool girl, calm, chill, and fun, and just excitement and just easy going all the time. You don't really pick a fight or you don't, have opinions around him, whatever it may be. If you're only doing that, that's who he thinks you are. And let's be for
Exactly.
real. Men, they take it as is. Like they don't think deeper,
Yeah.
you know, what you show him. He's not going to think, oh, maybe this is not her real self. I think that she's putting on. Like he's not going to pick up on it that quickly.
No.
So for you to go over there and be like, I hope he can handle my size and this, that, well, it's
You
going to
but
be a
you've
rude
never showed him
awakening.
that,
Exactly. It's going to
you
be a rude
know?
awakening. So I'm like so interested in seeing how that plays out because I think it's going to be explosive.
Yeah. And the thing too is like I did so actually I think they were on last week's episode. Because I remember saying to Letitia last week, I'm like, when she's kind of explaining the whole like closet thing, the fact that he didn't move stuff, which yes can be irritating.
Right.
But she's like, if I wasn't soft partnering him, I'd be like, move your shit, bro. Like, why is it motherfucker to here, bro? And I'm like, do you need anger management? Maybe that's what's going on here. Not so much that you're gonna be, a little spicy because yes, we can be, but maybe
Yeah. But that's a little, that's,
damn,
yeah.
damn, girl, over some clothes and a console that you think only takes 3 seconds to move, girl. No, it doesn't. It takes a little bit longer.
She's going to scare him. She's going to frighten the
She
shit
scares
out of him.
me.
But remember, in the beginning, she made this comment which also really resonated with me. And it was oh shit, brain fart. No, damn it. She said something. It was along those lines that she was talking about. Ah, fuck it.
Okay.
Completely. I just
Love when that happens.
I fucking hate it. It's so much harder because when I get it, I'm on. And then when kids are around, like my brain is just
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but yeah, I think like no. First of all, A, this is not gonna work
Yeah.
anyways. And I want more of her family. That's all I want.
Yes.
Give her family their own show. That's all I
Yes,
want. Inky,
absolutely.
Stinky, Winky. I want more of that.
I love it. I love mom, grandma, everybody. Throw them all in.
Auntie, I love it all.
Let's get some cousins up in there too. Why
Yeah,
not? Because her family
great. Give
is
them a show.
they're great. They're
Give them
great.
a show.
Yeah.
It's just like on Love. Well, there's during and then after lockup. And
Yeah.
it was what was her name? The one who said she was spiritually married to him was Harry. His name was Harry, but I can't remember her name. And her mom was a PI. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you saw her.
Oh yes, yes,
And
yes,
she
yes,
rolled
yes.
up on him and she was wearing the hood and she took the hood off and she's like,
Yes,
I'm like, give this
yes,
woman a show.
yes. I remember that.
I love her.
I really need to catch up on that show, honestly. I remember
Yeah.
Harry. He had
Yeah.
the braids. They
Yeah,
were
the
tough
braids.
as
The braids
hell.
were good. He was an ass, but the braids were good.
He's cute. I would have
Yeah,
been
no,
that.
he's trouble. He's
Mhm.
cute, sure, but nah, man, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. He's
My spiritual husband. And I'm
yeah,
like, you're
yeah,
gonna, so do you guys spiritual divorce?
yeah. A spiritual annulment, something
Like,
like that.
what's going on here? But yeah, anyway, that's the episode.
Hmm.
And thank you for coming on. Even if we couldn't talk UK, guys, and I'm sorry that we couldn't do UK today, but we will get UK out to you soon. It's fine. It's it's fine. It's no.
Just boy energy.
Oh, but the faces are so good.
Think we need a moment.
But yeah, no, we'll get UK done on sorry guys. For mine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get UK done. We should have that either Tuesday night, like I said, or Wednesday morning. But yeah,
Yes.
that's that.
That's that. See you in another one.
Yeah. And then once we can get UK done, we need to get you on Bachelor. We need to get you on Bachelorette.
Yes, I want to
This
be on.
season's actually been really good. I'm impressed by her.
Really?
I'm impressed by her. Yeah. I'm actually impressed by her.
I don't know if I'm impressed. I feel the opposite, but we can talk
Really?
about it.
We'll talk about it. I'm impressed by her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I'll get you on that because I haven't watched this week's episode yet, but we'll get you on an episode and we can talk about it.
I'll be back.
All right. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Week Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube, and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's with that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks.